Today I want to have a conversation about why collecting coins, stamps, banknotes, anything you like is the greatest thing you can do. The reason I decided to make this video today is actually quite interesting, and it got me thinking about a lot of the interesting connections that collecting has had in my life. Yesterday I was visiting the home of a former primary school teacher of mine, and we were talking about collecting. I had a look at his collection, and we chatted for hours actually, just about a shared love of coin collecting. Now that's something that I find really fascinating. The fact that the connections that I make through this career of being a coin dealer, a numismatist as it were, it's so hard to predict where these things will lead me. As we were chatting, one of the subjects we covered was how I ended up in this fascinating career with all these interesting connections. And I wanted to just make a video to highlight not only for me how important collecting has been, but just to take a moment to have a bit of a contemplation as to what collecting has done for you. I think a lot of people sometimes underestimate the value of the community around collecting, particularly the people that are really passionate about collecting. I often am fortunate in that I get to have these conversations with people that are really, really passionate about coin collecting. And often, if my wife happens to be present, she laughs and she says, it's as though you're speaking a completely different language. Once you start to get into the finer points of collecting, she says, yeah, it's truly as though you're speaking another language and I just don't get it. But for anyone that even has a small interest in collecting, I think you can appreciate the attention to detail and the excitement that us collectors get when we see something interesting, or even just when we talk about our own collections or things that we're passionate about. Now, it may come as a complete shock to you, but I've always been a pretty passionate individual. Whatever it happened to be that I was focused on at that time in my life, I tend to throw myself 100% at it. And prior to being in the numismatic world, I was heavily involved in the music industry, and that was something that I was really, really driven and passionate about. But it ultimately came to a point where I hit a crossroads and I realized that working within groups of creative people is quite difficult and is, not something that worked out, unfortunately. So in that sense, collecting can also be quite a solitary pursuit. So it's something that you can really get right into by yourself. I'm sure there are plenty of collectors, possibly even you watching the channel right now, that collects to an extent where you really enjoy it, but you don't branch out into the community. It's something that you just keep to yourself and it brings you a great deal of joy. Now, in that sense, I think it's the greatest hobby ever because you can purely do it by yourself in whatever capacity you like, or you can branch out. You can come along to coin expos, come to the money expos that I organize, and really get involved in the community. And there's no shortage of fascinating people out there in the community. So if you are ever inclined, I encourage you to come along, attend an event, and just meet some like-minded people, because one of the things that came out of the recent Royal Australian Mint release that had people queuing up outside the Mint overnight, something that I don't think gets enough attention is a number of people had really positive experiences in that they met like-minded collectors who are really passionate about collecting and their coins and things like that. And all of a sudden, you can make some lifelong friends, which I think is invaluable. And it's something that doesn't really get, I don't think it gets enough airtime. So here it is. I'm giving it some airtime, a little bit of positivity. I didn't really know where I was going with this video. I think I just wanted to highlight the fact that I'm really, really grateful for you, the community that watches these videos. And I know I always encourage people to comment and share their thoughts and things like that. But I must confess, I'm generally one of those people, particularly online. I don't comment on anything. I never get involved. And interestingly, because I do this, I spend hours putting these videos together, editing them, and putting them out there for the world to see. But I'm quite reserved when it comes to other parts of online communities. So I'm forever grateful for anyone that watches these videos. I learned recently that I've even got a few of my personal friends that watch these videos. They never comment and they didn't tell me until recently, but if you're watching and I know you personally, I really appreciate it. If I don't know you personally, hopefully one day we can meet at a coin show or something like that. I really, really do. I don't take this for granted. I'm forever grateful for everyone that supports this channel and is active in the wonderful hobby of collecting. So that's it for now. I just wanted to highlight that. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I look forward to a very exciting new year. I'll probably do another video or two before the end of the year. But at any rate, it's been a blast and I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you very much. There was another point that I wanted to mention. I completely forgot, but come on back. Here it is. Another real highlight of the collecting community is that I consider it, and I realized this when I was having this conversation with my dear friend and former primary school teacher, is that collecting in a lot of ways is the great equalizer. You know, I've sat with doctors, lawyers, people with PhDs and things like that, and had conversations that lasted many hours in which there were no breaks. We thoroughly enjoyed it from both sides, but it's such a wonderful thing that allows people to connect on a different level. So there's no real, hopefully when you're talking about coins, there's no real ego involved. People don't have, a lot of the people that I'm fortunate in interacting with don't have a real snobbiness about them. They just have a shared love and passion for collecting and enjoy sharing and exchanging information and ideas. So that's just another thing that I absolutely love about the hobby. It's such a great thing that brings people together in such a positive way. And can you believe it or not, I can't get enough of it. I just keep coming back for more.